I made some improvements to the units that are part of the hypermodel profile. So let's take a look at what I did. For starters, the dollar unit, I changed the classifier to the unit in the QUDV profile. So I took care of that first. Then the next step was to set these up as prefixed units. So I believe they originally were set up as derived units. So I had to come here to the classifier and change these to prefixed units. And so prefixed unit shows up as a choice. So these were set to prefixed units. Then you have to come into the slots and set these. And several of these have multiplicity 1, so you want to make sure you set those because they're required. So I set it to be invertible. I set the prefix to kilo. The reference unit was set to dollar. So the dollar is the base unit here. And then I put $K in as the symbol. And so for the dollar itself, because it doesn't have a reference unit, it is the reference unit. All it got was the $. And so I set that up correctly. And then the mega dollar in the slots there as well, I said it's invertible. I went ahead and gave it the mega prefix, which you can come in here, and when you select that to edit it, you basically get to pick from a list of prefixes that pop up. And I set that with a $M as its symbol. So then the cost, kilodollars, and megadollars are all set to go because they just use these units. So they were ready for action as they were. So one comment, if you want to just learn on how to set units up correctly, I usually work with the auxiliary resources off, but you can turn them on. And then if you come down to the usages, you'll find down in the ISO 80,000 and the extensions, you'll find all sorts of interesting things. For example, in the extension now, if we look at mass, though it's technically not a mass unit, they have added pounds as a simple unit. And notice that the ounces are a linear conversion unit. And so if we look at that more closely, you'll see that they're set up. They give you the conversion factor, so that's a 16th. It is invertible. You can reciprocate back and forth, and they have the reference unit set up as pounds. So this is how you relate, like a mile would be 5,280 feet. So if we look at length, let's see if miles are in there. Yes, a mile is in there, and notice that they have that in terms of inches for some reason. So they started with inches. They said that a foot is 12 inches, then they gave a mile in terms of inches, and they gave a yard in terms of inches. So again, you can learn a lot of how to set units up by poking around the libraries. Notice area is in here. It's a derived unit. It's foot squared with a simple foot squared, basically. Acceleration, foot per second squared. Again, they have that defined in terms of the units that are involved. And so they're just defined in this way. So again, if you want to learn how to set up your own units, I encourage you to turn on the auxiliary resources and go poking around in the libraries. It's a great way to learn how to set these up correctly.